international greeting out of the way first. Hola, aloha, ciao, salut, ni hao, namaste, ohayo, yagamasama, zdravstvuyte, привет, buna, dzień dobry, sziasztok. Hello, Sincha, yebosio, teres, alaikum, sakseka, marhaban, merhaba. Welcome, my name is Brunel. For those of you who don't know who I am, for everybody else who already knows, well, there you go, you know. It's been a while, so I do apologize, but I won't get into that. It's not about that today. For once, we have got a collection that's launched first in the UK. Yes, in UK, whatever. So, MAC, I've got a new collection called Electric Wonder. And I've got a few items from the collection. I didn't buy everything, well, because your girl's paying for it herself and I don't need to buy everything. I've got an eyeshadow palette, which is the first time I've actually ever used a MAC eyeshadow palette. So I don't know what their eyeshadows are like. So we have first impression as well. And on top of that, I've got a lipstick and also a lip gloss, which is basically a lip gloss, about which I'm a bit about, but I'll explain why later on. If you want to know what else is included in the collection, I'll kind of talk more about that towards the end of the video, so that, you know, we can skip too much chatting, which is what I'm doing at the moment. So without further ado, we're going to get into the video. Before anything else, on my eyes, I've just got a concealer, which is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the color Chestnut to neutralize everything. The eyeshadow palette has got the shades have got names on them, but unfortunately it's that plastic that comes off and I find it really annoying, and it's in a different room right now and I can't be bothered to go and get it. So I shall put the names down somewhere here doing editing so you know which shades they are. The packaging is nice. It's got like a marble effect packaging. It's got a sort of a soft pink with gold to it. I'll turn it sideways so you can see the colour, because when I turn it this way you can't really see much. Yeah, so it's a marble effect. It's likely to get very messy at the back because it's super white, but you know what, whatever. And then you've also got the lipsticks, which have got a similar effect. That's the lip gloss. The lip gloss is in the shade Rockstar, which is absolutely stunning. I love the color on my skin. And also got the lipstick here, which is in the color the Naturalist. And that's, oh god, I just scraped the top of it. I just took the top off. There you have it. So it's very, very natural. Yeah, so that's that. And just give you a closer look of the eyeshadow palette, and hopefully the colors are not too blown out. No, perfect. So you can see it's very natural. Colors are not unique, let's just say that. I mean, it's brown, so it's, you know, they're not unique in themselves, but you know what, it's not about that. So we are going to try these shades out. So I'm going to get started with the first shade, and hopefully when I do editing I'm going to remember which one it is. And I'm just using a big fluffy brush. There's no name for it. This one is the Morphe brush. And I'm just going to dip into this shade here and see, hopefully it isn't too ashy on my skin. And we shall see. Ooh, pick it up quite a bit, but I'm going to dip in again. Not too much, not too fluffy. It's not too bad, but it needs to be built up for it to show my skin. Yeah, it's not too bad, but I could actually do it with it being a tad bit darker. It's not really doing too much for me. All right, so the only thing I can really say after having blended that first shade is it's not right, but it's okay. Okay. R.I.P. Whitney. So I'm gonna go move on to the next shade, which will be much more suitable for someone of my skin tone. The other shade will be better for someone with a lighter skin tone. I'm gonna move into this shade here, and I'm just gonna stick with the same brush. And ooh, first pick up. So actually that one's a lot more pigmented, not too much fallout, and I'm just going to concentrate that top of my crease line. Yeah, that's better. Much happier with this shade. In fact, I think I should have started with just that shade. Blends really, really easily. And kind of tends to sort of disappear a little bit the more you blend it. So hopefully this is buildable. So as you can see here, hopefully, let me go back in there and see if it's buildable. Yep, more buildable. Happy so far with that shade. Actually, it is buildable and it blends really easily, so no complaints whatsoever. So yeah, so moving on to the next shade, and I'm gonna go for this brown here, and I'm just going to concentrate that on in my crease line, and just dipping in once. I'm using the Zoeva 228 crease brush, and yeah, it's really well pigmented, not much fallout at all actually. So I probably dipped in there about 5 times, and this is how much you get on a brush. And just going to concentrate that in my crease line. Ooh, yeah, that is pigmented. Moving on to the last shade, which is this one here, which is the darkest. And I'm using the Zoeva Luxe Soft Shader brush. I've already dipped it in because unfortunately the first bit when I dipped it in, it didn't record it, but it does pick up quite a lot of product, and as you can see, it is very dark. And I'm now just going to apply that and see, actually not much fallout at all. Ooh, yeah, that is dark, and that shows really well on my skin tone. If I can get my hair out of the way. And I'm just going to pack that on the outer corner of the eye first. And I don't even think I need to dip back in. That one is very well pigmented. And just try and blend that in halfway across my crease line. Moving on to the shimmers, I'm going to start off with this kind of yellow gold here. And I'm going to try it first of all with the finger to see what it's like, and then if it doesn't work, we'll try it with a brush. So with a finger, ooh, mamma mia. Oh yeah. Oh wow, okay, I'm impressed. It works really well with a finger, just fine. And do you know what, I was going to do another shade at the back at the end, but you know, I'm going to keep it just with the gold. Let's try it with a brush as well. Then this is just a dry brush, and see what that applies like. You do pick up quite a bit with the brush. Not bad with the brush, but actually I do prefer it. It's much more intense with the finger. As you can see, there's where the brush nose, and this is a finger, and for me a finger works it much better. So I'm going to try it with a wet brush and see. Oh yeah, much better. Now they said that colour's on a bit. It needs quite a bit of work to build it up to make it look more seamless. I wish that the formula had been a lot softer, more like if you're thinking ABH shimmers, where they're really soft and you can really, you know, one swipe with your finger is perfect. I wish that the formula had been that way, but it's not. So it works really well with a wet brush rather than a dry brush. but it needs a bit of work to try and make it build the color up, and which is a shame because it's such a bright gold and shiny you know, yellow color. You ought to be able to be there straight off, but it is what it is. I'm just going back in now with the same brush, that's a Huda 239 brush, no new products on it, and I'm just going to softly blend the edges of the shimmers and soften that. Cleaned that brush a little bit. I'm just going back with the dark brown that I used last shade, and I'm just going to tap that back in place on the outer corners of the eyes, and then try and blend it in with the gold, the yellow gold. Okay, truthfully for me, I am not happy with the gold. It sort of disappears, even at the edges where you're trying to blend just very, very gently, it disappears. There's a bit of fallout, but that's not necessarily an issue, because you know it happens, you know, but it's just not intense enough for the way that it came out as to how it applies on the eyes. I'm just not, it's just, look at it, it looks really, really muted, and it's just a shame, because now it feels as if you need some kind of a glitter or something to actually give it a bit more color. So for me, it's a fail with the gold. It just doesn't quite do it for me. I'm gonna try and see if I can dip into a different palette with a gold to try and intensify it, so you see what I mean, which is a shame because the review is about this eyeshadow. Or should I leave it alone? Do you know what? No, leave it alone. Don't dip into any other shades. Leave it as it is, and then finish the look. Maybe I might be a bit happier. So I'm gonna go off camera and just do the rest of my face. Underneath at the bottom, what I'm going to do, the shades I'm going to use are going to be this shade, these last two, so that one and that one, and blend them together, and then we shall do the lipstick. So see you in a mo. Alright, so I'm nearly done. Before I get to my final thoughts and a bit more information about what's involved in the whole collection, we are going to apply the lipstick and hopefully maybe the lip gloss as well to see what it's like. Forget the hair because I'm going to be changing that in a minute. On my lips, I've already lined it all over with just a lip pencil, and that is this one here from Bobbi Brown, which is in the color chocolate. And by the way, if you want to save yourself a whole load of money, which is at least £10 I believe, and you want to go for something cheaper that's a dupe that's just as good of quality, then you can go for the Kiko Smart Fusion lip pencil in a color 531, which is about £2 something, so it's a massive saving. So the lipstick here, although I've sort of taken the top bit off, this is in the shade the Naturalist, so we're just going to apply that. Now, I know that MAC's lipsticks are really creamy and a good quality, so no complaints there. So let's see, I'm just going to apply that in the center of my lips. So it's a creamy formula, it's very, very opaque, got lots of pigment. Don't want to overdo it and then build it too much. I do like that shade actually, it works really well. Probably not a perfect shade to go with this, but I wanted to try the actual stuff that I bought, so just wanted to try them on camera. So it's a nice, really creamy lipstick, no complaint whatsoever. So no complaints, I do like the color very much. So let's try the gloss, which might not go very well because it's slightly darker, but I do love the shade. I'm just going to swatch this gloss for you so you can see it is absolutely beautiful on the skin. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Oh yeah, it is such a lovely color. So hopefully that will be reflected. It might be a bit too much now. I've been put a lip pencil, lipstick, and now a gloss, but we shall see. I'm just going to dab it in the center. Well, it's not showing much there, so we'll keep on trying and add a little bit more. Okay, this is my face all completed now. I know the wig's different. If you want to know more about this, it's coming up tomorrow. Video is being uploaded probably 9 p.m. tomorrow if you want to watch that one. As to the makeup, right, so first thing is this lipstick doesn't quite go with the makeup, but I wanted to demonstrate the lipstick itself and the lip gloss, so that's why I've used this, but I will be taking this color off and changing it. My thought as well, before I get really started, if you look at the eyes, the color is a lot more intense. Unfortunately, I lied earlier when I said no, I'm going to leave the kind of gold yellow on alone. Unfortunately, when I looked at it in normal daylight, it was a no. So I actually used the Morphe bronze palette, and I used this shade here, this one, to top it up, and I literally just used my fingers, and it was fantastic, and it's way better. So what do I think about the collection? The lipstick, as usual, I like the lipstick and I think it suits me really well. I just need to make sure you use the right pencil, liner lips, and it'll be fine. And also the lip gloss, I'm not too sure about it, or the lip gloss I should say. I usually have a reaction with lip glosses from MAC. I don't know why that is, but it happens. So I'm not too sure. I will only be able to use that lip gloss on top of another lip color. I can't put it directly on lips itself. But even now, when I have actually used it, I can feel tingling at a corner of my lips, so I will be taking it off. I usually get a reaction and tiny little kind of like spots on my lip, which is just don't look nice. But it is a beautiful shade. It is a really lovely shade for someone. If you don't get reactions, especially if you're dark skin, this is a really lovely shade, especially if you were to use MAC's lip pencil in chestnut as well. That will work really well. But as I said, lipstick itself I'm really happy with, so that's fine. As to the eyeshadow palette, would I recommend this? Would I say, because it's £39, would I recommend this? Personally, I would say it's a no. I have to say it's nothing against MAC, and if you want to, if you want to support the brand, go ahead. If you want to spend your money, it is your money. Do whatever you like with it. I'm just giving you my personal opinion, and I'm just picking it up now. The packaging is nice, however, it does get dirty really easily at the back, but that happens with anything that's usually white anyway, so it is what it is. It does feel quite sturdy, and it's not lovely, and with the pink and the gold. However, the colors and the shades themselves on the inside, they're not unique. I mean, we've seen, come on now, look, you've got the Morphe bronze palette here, which is my everyday palette now as well. It's got so many shades there, and it's £24. And it's got, I'm trying to take the stuff, and you can see it's got loads of shades there and loads of browns, which actually suit my skin tone really well. And I'm not going to complain about the quality when it comes to applying them on the eyes. They're a bit dodgy when it comes to the to swatches, but you can't go just by swatches alone. This one, however, for me, applying, I was quite disappointed with the gold. I really expected it to really pop, and it didn't. And let's face it, we've got brown shades and you've got loads of other eyeshadow palettes. £39 for me is a lot of money to spend on a palette that's not particularly unique in that way. And to be honest, the shimmer not that impressive. To be fair, it was only this one that I used, and I can I was going to do a separate video for this one with the swatches, but I won't bother. I think this one will probably be one of the best quality for the shimmers. Quality does look kind of really soft here. It is much softer, so that would apply much better. So that's a swatch there. So I've been playing with all sorts of glue and stuff there, but just to give you that, just do that, give you a proper swatch, because that's no good like that. Woo. So there you go. Woo. Right, do you know what, putting it that look, it's falling apart, it's very flaky. Even with this one, even though it pops, it's kind of really flaky, and that's not, and it's kind of messy as well. It's just, look at that, it's honestly, it's crumbling around. I'm just checking the monitor. It's no, no, this, and it's not even staying in place. So no for that one. Let's try different shades. So maybe it's just me. I'm going to try another shimmer, which is this one here. And it does feel really soft, and it has come off onto my finger quite a bit. And if we just swatch that, Now that one is lovely. That one is, but as you can see, once I start rubbing or anything of that sort, it comes off. Yeah, it comes off, but so far it is the best of the lot. So for me, that's just not enough. For £39, that is just, I'm sorry, I can't. Maybe it's me, but I really can't. I would say it's a no. The other eyeshadow palette, which is more cool toned, if you are darker than me, you can still obviously go and use that. However, you have to be mindful. I mean, I haven't got it here because of that. I didn't choose that because of that reason. You will really have to bypass all the matte shades because they're just too light and they'll be too powdery and ashy on a dark skin. It was ashy on me, so if you got darker than me, you can forget it. So for me, that was a no. I couldn't even buy that. I prefer having an eyeshadow palette where I can use all the mattes in there and create a look from one eyeshadow palette rather than dipping into others. I just don't see the point in spending nearly 40 quid and then just being able to do that. That's not just unique to this palette. That is just across the board for any palettes that I use. So that's my personal opinion. However, you may find yours completely different. Do let me know if you find a better way of making things work. I'd like to learn. I'm not an expert. I'm just a makeup enthusiast. But for me, I'll have to pass. I'll stick with the lipstick. But for the eyeshadow palettes, the colors, not unique and not particularly that fantastic. So I'm sorry. It is what it is. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment if you haven't already. I do appreciate it. Try not to be rude because otherwise I will just delete your comment because I'm not about that at all. Thank you.